It got rough because I didn't have anything to go off of. I had no solutions. I had no experience. I had no anything.
Hello, Carrollton, Texas. In today's news, there is a 2-year-old trapped inside a house fire. The fire was started by the father's girlfriend who set the father's bed on fire while he was sleeping. The father managed to rescue 4 of the 5 children who were inside. As it remains, there is still a toddler trapped inside the home. There are firefighters and first responders on the scene. I don't know how this is going to turn out. We will keep you posted on the latest as the story develops. Reporting for Good News 1, I'm Sherry Jones.
I didn't know. I had no answers. I had none. The only thing I knew is that my mom was getting sicker. So I would drive out there every day to help my mom. And then after the fire happened, I moved in with my brother, who was letting my mom stay there because she was getting sicker. So by this point, I'm able to spend a little time with my mom. And I don't know, for those of you who have gone through different situations, but there's a little talk with Jesus and there's a little talk with mom. And having the talk with mom, I was able to realize some things that I didn't realize before. Like she really kind of just opened up who I was, because in life we can move so fast. Successfully, unsuccessfully, painfully, through tragedies. We just move, we just go, and we plow right through it. And sometimes we don't step back and look at the big picture, look at who we are, what we've built ourselves to become. I'm a type of person, I like to make small changes, and every day I try to find something about me that I can change and make better, or a new word, or listen to a message that gives me some inspiration. So you go for, let's say, 15 years of making these small changes, and then your life comes to a screeching halt, and you look back at who you are. And my mom's telling me not only who I am, but all the things she has watched me accomplish, and the things that she was so proud of that I had accomplished. And while it was helpful, it was also very intimidating. Because I thought to myself, how in the heck do I get back here? How do I get back? Like, what do I do? Really? I did all of this, all of that. I've built all of that, and I did so much for so many people. So it kind of sent me more into a shell. Like, while it was helpful, it was intimidating. And I realized there's no way out. There's no way out of this unless I surrender to God 100%. And the only way I knew that information is because I grew up in the church. And I knew the power of God. I knew it. I don't subscribe to belief because I understand belief is a state of confusion. And at some point with God, there's no confusion. There's no question. If God exists, if God lives, if God is working in your life, at some point of your spirituality, there becomes no question about it. You realize it's not if he will come through. It's not when he will come through. It's not will he come through. It's not I need to pray for him to come through. You know. Kind of like your dad at your house, or a very dependable family member, extremely dependable mom. There's no question. You just call and say, Mom, I need. You just text and say, Mom, I need. So and I knew the power of God. I knew God. I know God. And I knew it was going to be a request that only God can fill. Only a God can fill. And I knew I wanted no part of Satan. And with spiritually, if we just look at the spiritual components of life, there's good and there's evil. There is no in between. Both gods will give you the desires of your heart, will give you monetary gifts, will give you financial gifts, will give you anything you desire. Both. The only difference is one is going to end in a horrible, painful, agonizing destruction of your life and many others. And that is Satan himself. Satan says in the Bible, I come to steal, kill, and destroy. So there's no question about what the agenda is. God says, I come that you might have life and life more abundantly. And then promises us eternal life if we hold the commandments of his word. So I knew growing up, I knew where I wanted to be, what side I wanted to be on, where my blessings were, where my bread was buttered on, however you want to talk about it. I knew at that point where I wanted to be. I knew that at 12, 13. I knew it. I knew it. But at this stage, because I had seen so much, I didn't subscribe 100%. And when I say 100%, it's kind of like the guys that are still with their wives but have girlfriends. It's kind of like the women who are still with their husbands and still have boyfriends. You don't subscribe 100%, right? But you're there. You love them. You want to be there. Just that 20%. It's bad, but man, it feels good. It's a rush. Feels good. So I did a lot of things that I should not have because my father wasn't in the home growing up. There were some things I didn't learn. And at this point, I felt like it all caught up to me. Because if I had have done things 100% according to the Bible, I wouldn't have been dating anybody. I would have waited until I was completely divorced, until I had clarity, until God had healed me, in order to be able to move on in that capacity. But that 20% got me caught up. And it came in a form that I was highly attracted to, that I was mesmerized by, that was someone that was providing me with some things I never had. I was treated ways I had never been treated, that lifted me up. It made me feel good. It was all the things a person should do, but it wasn't used for good. And I feel like that's where a lot of the times we get frustrated as Christians, as believers, as good people, as people with good hearts, is
Every session at the gym is about pushing your limits and sculpting a stronger you. That's why it's crucial to fuel your recovery with the right protein supplement. Discover the power of isogenics. From moringa-infused smart mixes to plant-based proteins and advanced cell repair formulas, isogenics supports not just muscle recovery, but your overall vitality. Experience the change and boost your strength with every product. Visit changelife.com now and elevate your fitness journey today.
We struggle with the fact that there's a lot of wolves in sheep clothing. So the very person who comes in, the first person who comes in, doing amazing things, we look at him differently. We try to figure out what's wrong. Because this person is too good. And unfortunately, we can't have that mind state because we miss good people, because we assume that they're bad, that they're wolves in sheep clothing, and everybody's not that way. So we have to understand that if the devil says, I'm coming to steal, kill, and destroy, he's not coming in a dark outfit dressed in black in the middle of the night in the alley. Because you're going to run. You got mace, you'll spray them. We got tasers now. In Texas, we can carry a gun. So he's not coming in a way that's going to be obvious to say I'm a criminal. He's coming in a nice suit, driving a Porsche, or a nice BMW with the convertible top and her hair's blowing in the wind. He will dress himself up he will use a vessel that's exactly what you want. And once he does that, he knows you're distracted, completely distracted. So nothing that you know to use against him, to fight him, you'll use. So we have to have the gifts that come with living a spiritual life, not only ready, but we have to have mastered how to use them. We have to master when to use them. We have to master telling other people how to use them to get through certain situations and circumstances. And until we do that, we're Christians that are soon to be taken down. Because we don't realize we're soldiers of an army. And we have to fight, although we have to cry. We have to hold up the blood-stained banner. And we got to hold it up until we die. So I meet this girl. She gets upset at me one night. She sets my bed on fire while I'm sleeping. I'm rushing to put out this fire. I'm rushing to get the boys out of the house. Remember, I'm a single father. 2-story home. I'm on the first floor. My kids are on the second floor. And around the back of the house, we had a little boiler pot. I was able to jump on that pot to get onto the lowest part of the roof. By that time, 3 of my boys had got out of one room, but there were 2 still in the other room. So, mind you, prior to this, a few nights before this, there was a spiritual encounter that took place at my home. And it was very, very deep. So for some of you, this may throw you off a little bit, but just stick with me. I'm going somewhere. We were outside one night, and Renee, the girl who set my bed on fire, she sat on my lap. And I was into a lot of spiritual transfers and things like that, and help and healing people. So I remember her telling me that there was an issue she had with trusting men because she had been done badly so many times. So while she's sitting on my lap facing me, I put my hands on her chest and I asked her to explain to me why she was fearful of men and didn't trust them. So with my hands on her chest, right, she's explaining to me, and this surge of energy passes through both of us, right? And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, this is an energy that needs to be released because she has not talked about this with anyone. And we go through a series of gas being released, like flatulence, belching. And it shocked me to the core of what was going on. And at this point in time, she's about 160 pounds. I grab her on the side of her arms and I lift her straight up. Standing up at this point, and I lift her straight up into the air. To this day, I've never had that much strength. To this day, nothing like that has ever happened outside of church for me. So at this point, I kind of freak out. I set her down and I'm gasping for breath, right? And I run to the corner of my backyard, right? I'm in a row. I run to the corner of my backyard and I feel this presence come over me that I knew wasn't God. Don't ask me how I knew, but I knew it was not God. So we move through the situation. She comes to the end of the yard to, help me get up, and I, give her some information that was being passed to me. It was basically her mom and her had a situation, and I was just telling her that her mom didn't mean it, that she was going to, she needs to forgive her mom. Her mom wants her forgiveness. And I darted in the house. And I was like, all right, that's enough for me. I'm good. As they say, I am good. So at this point, right, I'm good. I'm good. This is enough for me. This is way more than I anticipated. And she meets me in the bathroom. And she says, the Spirit told me you were in here. And I said, okay. And I came out the bathroom. And at that time, she tried to manipulate the situation and say that that was a test. And in the event that something was happening, I would run. And that showed her that I would run in a situation like that. And I probably couldn't be trusted because I would dart out of a tough situation. And we go back and forth, and I'm like, no, there's, God speaks to me too. And I knew I had to get out of there. There was something that wasn't right and something in that presence that wasn't God. So I had to escape that. And we got through that night. We worked through that situation. And there was spiritual encounters that would happen, some good, some bad. There was a time where
smoke filled the night, dark and deep. Lost the sun in the fire's cruel sweep. But he held on tight, didn't lose his way. Faith and love showed him a brighter day. Ashes to dust, he knelt down to pray. Through the tears he found words to say with a heart. Spirit, come and fill this place. I need your light, I need your grace. Guide my heart and show me.
I was in my media room and I was laying on my face praying, and she just came in and joined me and started laying on the floor and just prayed with me. There were other times where we prayed, and just had really good times spiritually. But we must know that's the way that Satan works, as he comes in and disguises himself to be a like-minded individual, the whole time setting up your demise. And we live with these people. We're brother and sister with these people. We work with these people. We go to church with these people. Some of these people are in the ministry and they're leaders and pastors. But if we don't have the gifts, if we don't master the gifts, if we don't use the gifts, they can take advantage of us. So we have to be smarter. Smarter Christians, smarter people. We have to be intentional in our dealings, in our spiritual walk, in our relationships. We have to be intentional. So this is kind of an opener. I just kind of wanted to give you a little bit of history about me, where I come from. I'll share more information as we move along. Please stick with me, share this information with as many people as you can. My goal is to help as many people as I can get through situations and better their mental health with the information God has given me and with the practical spiritual principles and actions that I use to get through this. So I hope you stick with me. Until next time, God bless you, and we'll see you soon.